जियान मैं बना ताकत
ब्रो चिल, क्या कर रहा है वो?
ये क्या हो गया? मैं कैमरा में कैसे आ गया? Who am I? What is this happening?
अरे ब्रो चिल, we are going to be casting. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. If you don't know who my friend is over here, he is Mr. Orangutan, and whenever the opportunity arises,
अरे मेरे को भी I want to speak. मेरे को भी बोलना. I want to speak.
अरे रुक जा बाबा, रुक जा, आराम से करेंगे सब कुछ. Let me introduce you first. So this, my friend over here, is Mr. Orangutan, and he always comes in whenever he gets in the opportunity. Loves to speak a lot and loves to move a lot as well. But the first match of Intel Gamer Days, today's best of 3, is done already. हम लोग थोड़ी देर में जाएंगे. We'll go to the format, we'll go to the prize pool as well. We'll check where exactly we are on the stage. But the first game, of course, was a blinder, a dominating performance for what, of course? The prize pool, ladies and gentlemen, that is of 3 lakh rupees, where the winner takes away 2 lakhs and the runners-up goes home with 1 lakh as well. It's going to be brilliant. Whoever gets to the grand final wins something, but nothing for the third place. And I think that is where the competitive spirit lies. Format, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, I want to speak. The format.
Oh, all right. Go ahead.
So, ladies and gentlemen, hear me out. So, we play qualifiers first. 24th August to 28th August. Single elimination best of...
Bro, you've got to explain as well. You've got to explain them what happens. How do you single elimination qualifiers happen?
So, basically, I know it. I was about to say. They play one map. Whoever wins qualifies to the next round. There is playoffs.
Let me say playoffs. All right, I'll finish this quick.
All right.
So playoffs, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see already, my friend here taking a lot of time, but it is going to be best of 3s that started from the 29th of August. It will go on till 4th September, and 5th September is going to be a grand finals. Playoffs में upper brackets, lower brackets दोनों है, which means that whenever a team kind of falters, they do have that other chance. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, what's important is also going to be the fact, Mr. Orangutan, do you know which is the team that is playing this best of 3 for us?
No, I don't. Only if you're a good commentator, you would have said that first.
It's roasting me right now. I like this. But, ladies and gentlemen, and you too, Mr. Orangutan, the match that we are about to play is going to be ZeroFrags.exe versus another good team. Guess who is it?
Who is it? How will I know? Ladies and gentlemen, how did I know?
So basically, the team they are playing against is going to be Team XØ IND, and it is going to be a good match. Why do I say it is going to be a good match? Because both these two teams, they haven't really had the best of runs in the tournament so far.
Hey, bro.
What? I don't know, he just likes to interrupt me at times, but I also think he's a very good friend. Sometimes he waves at me as well. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll definitely move on to the map of veto as well as the agent selection very soon, where we'll find out where exactly our thing stands. The first map will be...
Hey, sunset! I love it!
Oh, do you see the compositions? What do you like about the composition?
Listen to me right now. In terms of agents, they are going to be playing the Cypher. Hydra is playing Cypher. Do you see?
Yeah. I see.
I see. Look at that. Raj is playing on Neon.
All right, Raj is playing on Neon. Vulture Zera is also playing on Omen. I love Omen. Yeah, of course, Vulture Zera has been an amazing player so far, and I think this man can definitely do it for ZeroFrags. But then on the other side, do you see who they're up against?
Yeah, Alpha Warrior. He's my favorite. Reina. I love the Reina.
You love the Reina, do you? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna let my friend know that Reina is also my favorite agent, but it will be very important for us to find out if Alpha Warrior is going to be as useful this time, because Raj and his speed is brilliant, especially paired it up with the breach. On the other side, not a lot of flashes playing it on the back of the two duelists. If Sangram also pulls up the neon, we have seen Sunset, we have seen the A side can actually be very problematic. And I think speed is going to play a factor, especially when you pair that neon up with the breach. Can really do devastating. But then, bro, what do you have to say about the agent selection? Like, do you like it, or do you know? What was that for?
So, if you let me speak, I'm gonna speak. No, you don't let me speak at all. So, I'm not gonna speak.
What's wrong with him? My friend is very moody.
No, wait. I like Team XØ IND.
Now you like Team XØ IND. Why?
Because they have a Reina.
Amazing. I mean, I am a big fan of the Reina as well, especially why? Because Alpha Warrior, this man has actually been pretty good on that Reina. Me and Aggressive, my dear friend, who is currently missing away from action, we have discussed it a lot of times so far as of yet. That the Reina might not actually fit into the team's perspective, but when there are compositions which are comfort based, right? Reina gives you that opportunity to get multi frags. It kind of helps you psychologically. Like me being a Reina, I mean, I always pick Reina. I don't mind scrambling the composition for Reina itself, alright? Average Reina lover. But there's a sense of comfort that comes from playing the Reina. And I think when you get the ability to multi frag and take your team ahead, just like Alpha Warrior does or has been doing so far in this competition, in the two matches that he has played and the ones that we've seen, I think that becomes an important objective for the team as well, to let this Reina facilitate the game. We will play around him. Versus on the other side, I think it's a much more team-oriented composition. They're expected to play on back of each other. The breach, the neon is supposed to but blitz on that breach.
Hey, are you done talking? Can you just keep quiet for a second?
What is wrong with you, bro? This is my job. This is what I'm doing. I love to talk about video games.
No, wait, no. I love to talk about video games too. Alright? I don't mind keeping quiet for you, but let me speak. I like to talk about video games.
So me and Mr. Rangadan have been playing video games like for what? For the past 3 years. Do you like this height? Do you like to be seen on the camera?
Yeah, I like that. This is good. Okay.
Nice. Good stuff. So, about the compositions we've talked about already. Do you like the map, Sunset?
I don't like the map. Honestly speaking, no. Sunset, no.
But what is your reason? Like, why don't you like Sunset so much? You sound biased at this.
Because it is not a map that I like. No. I don't like Sunset. I like Bind. I like Haven.
Anyways, we're not Haven. I'm gonna keep Mr. Rangadan aside because he right now is becoming very.
No, I don't want to go.
But anyways, we come back to the game at least, and this is gonna be me, your captain, the only captain, no co-pilot today, Mr. Salty, on the headsets. Meanwhile, we watch this game, Team XØ IND versus ZeroFrags. This time they've named themselves just Zero itself. You've seen the breach being there, Raj! Wow, that was a quick start. The breach and Raj trying to breach pass iconically through mid, through market. Savage Yoda will be there to defend them, but he struggles on the back of that breach flash. The team compositions of Team Zero really favoring them so far. Sangram and Alpha Warrior are still alive. Comes to see if, or rather, will they be able to cause any difference? Alpha Warrior towards mid, not coming to any use. Meanwhile, Sangram and Zings, they fall. Finally, this man comes in the picture, the big Reina. Can go in for the multi-frags, but the timing. Vulture, Zera, having the flare on that one. Did beautifully to get themselves the first round. I like this so far. Let me know in the chat as well. What do you guys think? But it kind of seems to be like this is going to be one of those affairs that can go to the third map. There's a high possibility this will be a 3-mapper, ladies and gentlemen. I do not have the chat open, but I think since I'm solo casting, I don't mind to have the chat open. Let me check it out. One to nil. Team ZeroFrags. Well, for now, they will have God's Spree taking down Raj Hydra with a double kill. XØ IND do not really have the numbers to hold the ZeroFrags, slowly flushing in. Vulture Zera has been the man of impact since the last day, to be honest. Does get his third for himself. A couple of trades going here and there for the Cypher as well, but did not really change anything. Team XØ IND slowly and steadily, but faltering. But this was kind of anticipated, I feel like, to ZeroFrags, especially after that first round. You know there will be an automatic second, but if things had to change, it would change in this round, which is going to be the third round. And somewhere or the other, Team XØ IND will have to counter Vulture Zera. Try and play around him, try and play in different angles. Possibly not encountering him, but at this point, Vulture Zera has been that differentiator. Raj once again extremely quick. The recon that does give him information. Godspeed know exactly where this man is going to come from. Flashes do come in. But the shotgun strikes. The tripwire will save him for a second, but not for long as Raj finds contact. 4 to 5 the scoreline. Alpha Warrior coming in from the back lines, but I think it will be way too late. Savage Yoda holds on for a second as Sangram manages to find a second as well. 3v2 ZeroFrags. They hold on to their position inside of the side, but Sangram finds another one with the Sheriff this time. Baby J with 15 HP. Faces the shock dart, but dodges it. Will finally show himself up as Team XØ IND chew up there. First round and the final player. Like I said, competitive affair. What does Game On Harsh have to say? Appreciate efforts, bro. Thank you so much, man. It feels good, especially when people are watching and appreciating. That's all for you guys. I'm still waiting on my dear friend Aggressive, though. I always love it, especially when it's with him. But as long as he's not there or battling internet conditions, which is something which we all do, I will hold on to that chip. Don't worry about it. One recon, of course, which goes deep into enemy territory. Finds no one, as every single of their attackers will be on towards a B entrance trying to huddle in, and it shouldn't really be that long of an affair. Tripwire holding on for a long, but Vulture Zera from the other side finds the backlines. Might find Savage Yoda, yes he does. Raj and Vulture Zera finding 2 quick kills. Called it out a little earlier, but nonetheless sinks. As well as his comrade are trying to make their way in. Sangram holding on their backlines. There's no one there. One battle will happen, but Raj and Blitz to find success. Sinks yet to engage into battle, but from the back lines, it is going to be Raj who finds another one. ZeroFrags. As soon as they get themselves that slip up, they come back almost instantly. Now this is a considerable improvement, right? We watched their game last day as well. I was not a fan of their gameplay, to be honest. But I think since today, there is considerable improvement, or I might just say something which might sound a little harsh, but Team XØ IND, maybe they're not good enough. Now, see, you only gauge an opponent's strength when you are in the lobby with them. Looking at them from outside or while spectating, yeah, for sure, the gameplay might feel a little good, but then you never really know how good they are mechanically as well. Rex suggests XØ. Who? I know, and I had the same question. I had the same question, especially when I was first commentating this team. Like, is it that Team XØ? It doesn't seem to be like that they are that Team XØ. They are different Team XØ called Team XØ IND. Vulture Zera from the distance will look at that drone, spots it, gives it some information at least that, alright, the controller of the team is here, so they might just be around me. Ha ha ha. Well, not. ZeroFrags.exe, they're actually doubling them up. They are towards that B side, while Team XØ IND kind of read them wrong. And this gives them the B side completely open. The minimap suggests so much of that story as Alpha Warrior and Godspre fall Vulture, finding those quick kills after spotting himself on towards that A side, just scrambling those oppositions on the rotate, giving such an advantage for ZeroFrags.exe, almost orchestrating the gameplay for them, the playmaker of the team, as well as the one who strikes. Sangram this time though with the Sheriff wouldn't really have much options. Raj obscures both of them as Hydra gets another one. Savage Yoda falls. 1-4, ZeroFrags.exe, they're actually running away with it. Also, I'm gonna be honest with you, right? A big apology to every single one who's actually watching right now, because I'm not sure how good my audio actually sounds while I'm commentating on this. I wish I had a better mic, but gone are those days of online commentary where I should do this from home. I think going to all LAN events, going to all of much more bigger studio events kind of takes away from those old memories, and this is one of the reasons why I love revisiting old memories, where you watch community games, you watch the community grow, and you get to see grassroots coming up together. For sure there are some amazing players, but tournaments like these do remind you that the Indian gaming scene is actually much bigger than it actually appears to be on screen. This time though, Godspre will find Vulture's era, one kill which was extremely important, but Hydra, the last standing player from Team ZeroFrags.exe, refuses to give up. Ultimate comes up, Neural Theft finds an opportunity, the opening strikes as Sinks falls. Neural Theft being activated, it is a Cypher versus a Cypher, as Savage Yoda still stands. He does have the Neural Theft of his own, but I don't think he minds using it, because there's a lot of real estate for Hydra to exploit. That is that I'm talking about. He needs to know the positioning of the Cypher, at least before he goes in for the plant, but Hydra does not mind giving up. He goes in for the plant for sure, but the positioning will depend upon how can he reposition. Does he position himself in a place where Hyota kind of expects? Shots in! Did not expect Hydra to be there. He kind of felt like he had to push past that tripwire. Quick on the feet, quick on the trigger as well, but not quick on that turn. I like the positioning and I like the thinking from Hydra as well. He knew he had given up his position, but still he decides to go in for the plant, because more than out thinking your opposition, it's important to out-heart him, I feel. It is the confidence about yourself and your capabilities. If you back yourself in a 1v1, you will always get the advantage of it. Let that Derek aura flow. What is a Derek aura, bro? I'm not really sure. Kind of uneducated in that department, but enlighten me for sure. I would love to know. Godspeed. This is the first map, right? Yes, this is the first map. This is a little bit of a production error over there, who actually suggests that Team XØ IND has won one map. This is the first map. But Raj, he finds one more kill on Godspre. Sinks over there, holding on to that position. The shotgun, Bucky does stand tall. Sings the songs of death. Vulture's era falls. It's a 1v2, and this man can certainly pull it off. There will be an opportunity to change that weapon though. But will he sacrifice the audio cues? Yes, already. But the spike needs to be diffused in the aftershock. Stab baby shit with the timing. ZeroFrags.exe. They get the 6th round on board. It seems utter flawless from them. Team XØ IND definitely trying to battle, but we've seen the weakness of this composition in the defensive side of things. XØ IND always looking to build on that lead on the attacking side, especially riding on the performance of the Reyna, at least in the games that have happened so far. But this time, in the defensive side, he has not had any impact. Let me check. Few whispers from the production might suggest that my friend might be back. I'm yet to believe that though. Meanwhile, let me check on my friend, Mr. Orangutan.
Wait, Amy, no! What's up? Look at that! Zero Frags winning! I love it!
Bro, you just picked up Team XØ IND. Before the game, you were like, they are your favorite team. What the hell happened?
No. You got me all wrong. I like Zero Frags.
Alright, I believe you. We have a recording of that. You said that on stream, bro.
I don't care.
Ladies and gentlemen, we move on.
Oh, I just come back to hear
my-
you talking to your favorite orangutan.
Yeah, bro.
Cheating on me already, is that it?
What? No. What the hell? Don't say all of these things, bro. Please.
The guy got called out so hard here already. But I was watching the game in the background, ladies and gentlemen. Sadly, technical difficulties came through from my end, but it seems as though the members of ZeroFrags, they're just going to be running in towards the side here. Down over to a 2v3, and it seems as though me joining onto the server here just to cast onto the game seems to be the saving grace that the members of Team XØ needed. They take the first round after a while, and a 2-6 scoreline already rolled in. As poor old Salty, he's already shocked that I did make a comeback, but it seems as though the members of Team XØ India,
I'm actually happy.
they're here to break their own comeback in the map of Sunset.
Possibly. Now, that is a very big statement, to be honest. Now, Alpha Warrior and Sings has been that fragger for them, but I think I expected a little too much. Zero Frags, the kind of teamwork that we get to see today is, let me tell you this. This is considerable improvement coming in from them. They were not this good. They were not showing this much coordination in the games that we've seen so far from them, but at least this time, the Sangram, he finds the opening as one of their crucial players in the form of that Omen falls. Zero Frags without a controller. This is going to be a hard task to find an opening into a site aggressive.
Absolutely. They're going to need to play towards this, players towards this A side. A little bit more of a difficult one to find, but it's all about finding that one initial opener here. And already Savage Yoda up and ready to try and go in for this hit. He has the perfect angle, and with no real smokes causing any issues for him. Perfect utilization of the utility. They do find the initial kill. They're looking for more. These entries seemingly working out. Emperor Palpatine on the server as well, with the overdrive coming online for Raj. And this one player, he has shown in, time out, that as soon as he does have that one ultimate in hand, he can do so much. Alpha Warrior now chiming in pretty hard here. He does get the open. To go outside, and Spawn being taken over by Raj here, with the last player now remaining being Alpha Warrior, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who can go in for multiple frags, but up against so many players, it's always going to be difficult. A 4K for Raj to finish everything off here on that Neon. 2-7 on the scoreline, and the map of Sunset seems to be a little bit of a one-sided.
Yeah, man. Again, like ZeroFrags.exe, this is great performance coming in from them so far. Absolutely taking it one-sided, just like you mentioned. 2-7 is the scoreline, and I think this might be a quick 2-0 if they maintain this momentum. And momentum breaking is extremely important, and for that you need extremely powerful Intel Core-powered laptops, ladies and gentlemen. Select models available. Amazing discounts on Flipkart. On the description, find the links, and in the chat as well. I think my friend Aggressive over here has been constantly praising those products, so I feel like it's a good way to actually segue into our sponsors, Aggressive. What do you think?
I mean, I want to do that segue, but while this match is still going, or this round in particular is still on the cards, we believe that things have slowed down over to a crawl. But what will not be slowing down, ladies and gentlemen, is of course the amazing deals that we have in front of your screen soon enough on Flipkart. Make sure to check out all the links down below in the description, because if you want to get yourself that gaming laptop that you've always been hoping to get, we got you covered with amazing discounts, just like the performances coming in from the side of ZeroFrags, because they're not going to be the ones giving a discount over to the members of Team XØ, but Alpha Warrior trying to inch his way forward with his team to try and take this victory here. Raj in the back of side, just waiting to see if he can find one of these players. Vulture Zera into the sidelines, already catching up the player coming in from the side of Market, and one after the other, they're just able to find these kills. These players are even ready to take this engagement. So they're all just playing their own game, and be in a situation like this, you can tell that their team synergy is just seemingly not present whatsoever.
Ah, zero frags. Not giving a single frag to the opposition right now. Dude, what the heck, man? Team XØ IND. You've got to hit your shots at least. I mean, not really that different of a composition are you playing. It's just the technical skill sets of ZeroFrags. It's a rumble. With fine success!
Oh my god!
What's that movement? Man just turned into a freaking tornado! Did we just see aggressive?
I mean, we just saw the ankle breaker performance that we know and love coming in from Sangram. Now Alpha Warrior looking for that kill over towards Hydra. This one frag will pretty much be to make it or break it for them. And never mind, Hydra! He turns everything around. Team EXO from having an advantage to now being the ones who need to force over a possible retake situation. It's all up to Sinks to be in this 1 versus 2. What a performance coming in from Sungram, but it doesn't really matter. Even though your Neon just pulled off a miracle, your team just didn't really have what it took to take out a player like Hydra. Single-handedly shutting down the true powerhouses for the side of Team EXO. Now Sinks, he needs to be the one to clutch it out for his team. A tough position to be in, but one of those spots Sinks has been in the past. He just needs a tiny bit of information, and he's able to get it. One player in towards the side, the other one has to be playing for the crossfire. He has what he needs, but the time is just not in his favor. He needs to try and make a run for it already. With only 20 seconds left on the clock, Recon spots him out, and it's going to be Baby J who shuts him out instead. 2-9, ladies and gents, says ZeroFrags. They're looking to take the 10th on the Looking to take the 10th
tempo, looking to take the 10 now. I like that. I like the entertainment that ZeroFrags are just giving us today. I think they're just having the right mindset, the right mood. They just go in, boom, they go out, bam. ZeroFrags.exe, pardon me for that. This time, they actually move in from market. Did have that position on towards mid. The flashes do come through as Raj. He is waiting for that timing as the players from Team XØ IND all of a sudden just come into a corner, absolutely pincered down, but Savage Jota and Sangram find a way to fight back. Not for long as Blitz and Vulture Zera become in. It's caught them with kills. Alpha Warrior in the Empress. This is the dangerous Alpha Warrior that I've always warned you guys about. Waiting for Blitz to find, does not have the flash. Spots him to safety. The fault line does come through. Find the frag. The defenders win. ZeroFrags.exe got shut down by an Empress. And this is the fear that always mongers when a good Reyna steps onto the server.
Absolutely. This is what you want to see coming out from a team of this caliber, ladies and gentlemen. And finally, we do see that inkling expression that we were missing out for so long. The fact that Alpha Warrior just came alive in this particular round shows that the members of Team EXO, they're not yet ready to give up, but having that expectation, having to set in stone the reality of the situation that you still have to win 6 rounds consecutively to try and take this victory. Mind you, on the attacking side of Sunset, which is arguably the hardest one to do, especially when you don't have a lot of the utility that you need to break through a lot of these defensive lines. Yeah, of course, Alpha Warrior, he has that aim, but so much of the pressure now goes onto some ground to create that space for Alpha Warrior to really utilize that mechanical skill that he has, so it's phase 3. Player is now spotted in towards the back of side, really playing on the retake, but Hydra was not really expecting this now, was he? It's gonna be Vulture Zero with 2 kills. He actually takes it over to a 3v3 situation, and this retake now very much probable for the defenders to make a breakthrough entry because they still have the Breach, the Sova, and the Neon to go in for a fast hit.
That, but will certainly be difficult for them. As Raj, he finds Savage Yoda. Baby J kind of steps onto a crossfire. The flashes, of course, do come in as Godspree leans up 2 of them. Blitz, the only player who survives. Recon that comes through, half is already done. He had done his half defuse, but Godspree comes around the corner with the classic double click. Leans up. Team XØ IND get themselves a 4th round on board.
This is beautiful to watch. It's exactly what you needed in a round like this to really get a play to work out in your favor. And on this 4-9 scoreline, ladies and gentlemen, we can tell that Team XØ finally found a little bit of a saving grace for their team. This attack side might be working wonders, but it all really dependent on if ZeroFrags are going to give away a lot of this. It is the 9-3 scoreline, so the curse could be imminent for them if they're not careful in the way that they take a lot of these entries. But for now, take a couple of steps back, understand what's really could be going on wrong for your team first before you count your advantages. Stinger in the hands of Savage Yoda here, as he's not going to be playing as aggressively as you would have expected, as members of Team XØ, even in this eco round, sorry, the anti-eco round for them, they're respecting the members of ZeroFrags, knowing that there's a good chance if they take this round that it's all but over. They can't be too hasty for the take. It seems as though Vulture Zero just pulls out the knife. He's going to be able to find so much value here already. In towards the back of side, there's still players that they need to worry about. Fights being taken. Hydra's going to be able to find one more sliding across. It's going to be up against the members of Alpha Warrior. And this is going to be always a problem when you're going up against a player of his caliber. But when ZeroFrags does stuff like this, you have to give credit where credit is due, because good God, the fact that Vulture Zero got that kill with a knife, popped down with the bucket and gets a second, that was criminal coming out.
Oh, for sure it was criminal. But then, this is what you expect from ZeroFrags. This is the entertainment that the audience wants to see as well. 10-4 the scoreline. Team ZeroFrags not giving a single opportunity. Team XØ IND to come back. Blitz. This breach has been a cause of problem for Team XØ IND for a very long time. Godspree in position, but the push comes to shove. Alpha Warrior cleans up 2 of them. Savage Yoda and Sangram, they come together. ZeroFrags, all of a sudden their players to fall, but it's a 3v4. It's still doable as the Sova lingers around that A side. Baby J in position, he knows he's waiting for his comrades to step in as Vulture Zero still stands tall. And I think as long as Vulture Zero is alive, I don't really think ZeroFrags will struggle. All attention drawn towards him. Vulture Zero finds those 2 kills! And now it's a 1v1! Wait, what? Sangram once?
I mean, it seems as though there was a slight bit of a difficulty there. That's completely fine, ladies and gentlemen. The pause will be taken here almost immediately by Derek, because he knows his team has lost out on a couple of consecutive rounds here already, and ZeroFrags, they really do need to stabilize from that. That last round in particular was done in a little bit more of a lackluster fashion, because Sangram should not have been able to get that second kill on the Cypher whatsoever. Hydra should have just waited, bide his time a little bit, and then opted to go in for a rotation coming in from main, and then opted to take that fight because he already knew the last known position of the player. They rushed it a little bit too much for this overall execute, but the members of Team XØ, they went in for a fast rush, they played for the trades, and they were able to find it. Oh, It seems as though
Yo.
we're now back in towards the casters here already, ladies and gentlemen, as the Intel Gamer days do continue. Small bits of technical difficulties, nothing really we can do about that, but hopefully the players, they're not going to be facing any. We're going to be jumping back in towards the game in just a little bit. Don't really worry about that. But what is expected to come in from the side of Team XØ on the opposite side has to be that they need to be more decisive, because now that ZeroFrags has taken that pause, the coach has now given them a little bit of a stern talking to. You know that ZeroFrags, they're going to have a lot more structure in their overall setup. They've gone in for the set play, gone in for a lot more of an aggressive play towards the B side, because they want to take that space early on, as the weaker weapons that they do have in their arsenal will cause some problems for them. But as long as they hold on to the B side, the options that Team XØ now have to go in for an execute are far less consistent.
Consistent for sure. Alpha Warriors, as well as the rest of his team, are definitely enjoying the fruits of the attacking ground. He actually comes with full attention, or rather, yes, and leads his team to success this time. The BBJ holding on to this corner, waiting for the opportunity to strike with a stringer at close range. Alpha Warrior gets the first kill for himself, leads his team inside the site, and now Team ZeroFrags.exe will have to find a way to get this retake done. They do have the controller, they do have the Omen spokes. The breach stands tall as well, but the flashes will have to be right.
Oh no, he missed. That kill was so necessary on the Omen. If he got that kill, this was all but over, because then immediately the Neon would have been able to pick up that weapon from the Omen and create a lot of pressure on towards the side of Alpha Warrior as well. A bit of a tough spot here for them to break through. Because again, it's Alpha Warrior that's just that constant X factor on the team, right? All of their members are just constantly rallying up behind him to give him the support that he needs to completely frag out of his mind. 6 and 10 on the scorecards here. ZeroFrags, they did lose out on that last round, but that's completely fine, because the plan was good. You have to give them that plus point that, hey, they wanted to go in for a lot more of an aggressive play. They did force the members of Team XØ to go towards the opposite side of the map, where Sinks did get the opener kill. And their retake was quite significant too. They were not really looking as though they wanted to get this round over and done with. They were trying to win. Now that ZeroFrags have the better weapons in their hands, now that the operators also come online onto one of the players, how do they want to hold this? They need to try and take things slow in some of these engagements, and it seems as though Raj, he's going to be the first line of contact here on the A side. But the 3-stack towards A, I'm pretty sure that the Breach can make a rotation, because the Neon can instantly run on about and go towards the opposite side of the map if he needs to.
Alpha Warrior in position, already breaching onto the site where Baby J stands. This man, always the second to enter the site, gets himself that advantage. Kinda always baits his teammate as well, as usual Reina behavior, to be honest, but fault line comes through as the kills don't, though. Vulture Zera gets all 3 of them. As a result of which, ZeroFrags.exe, they get the 11th round on board. A good way to actually get a comeback, and it comes after a while. As Team XØ IND, it's been some time they have been constantly winning.
Yeah, for their side, this is pretty much an imminent victory, it seems. Especially when it came down to this retake, I was surprisingly surprised at the way that they were able to do it, especially with Vulture's movement. Just look at the way this man is just tapping about. Crosshair not moving from the headline whatsoever. You can tell that ZeroFrags, they have a lot of star aimers on their team and talents that can really break through pretty much any obstacle that is in front of them. For Team XØ, this round will sting a little bit, because they really needed this to stabilize their economy. Forced onto a couple of half buys, I do believe, on a couple of these players, they're not going to have a lot of firepower to really get into any of these sites. And if they do lose here, their eco is already in a terrible situation. Vulture's position already revealed. They're spamming inside of the smoke. They want to go in for this kill. Vulture's not going to be able to find anything, because Ferguson Graham just jumps in over from the top row, but Hydra, the micro corrections are perfect on this player. And the man, the myth, the legend, does find more. Blitz instantly trades back his teammate. And now it's all up to Alpha Warrior. Position revealed, stuns coming across. He's going to be opted for the swing. And Hydra takes his team over towards the 12. Look at the guy showboating onto the camera. He knows that he's being watched. 6-12, ladies and gentlemen. And the game of Valorant just keeps on giving.
One more round before we actually see the fangs of Team XØ IND fall. As of now, Vulture Zera, 22 frags of his own. This team has been butchered, to be honest. Sangram, the Neon, of course, trying to do something over this time. Raj and Baby J have been shutting players down over and over again as the utility barrage comes through. And Team XØ IND is the Alpha Warrior who stands. And the shotgun strike. Well done, ladies and gentlemen. Well done, players from Team XØ IND. They fought well, at least. Or did they?
I mean, they tried their best. Let's just give them that. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, that first initial map was just a little bit more of a one-sided showing, going in the favor of the members of ZeroFrag. And is that big of a surprise? Not exactly, because ZeroFrags as a team, they showcase their worth in multiple different occasions. Yes, they are in the lower brackets, but I do believe that they had just one of those harder starts, I would say, for their first initial couple of games on that upper bracket stage. And just as Salty is having a little bit of fun with his buddy Orangutan here, the other caster, the third caster for this stream, we're going to be heading on down over into a very short little break, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be running some ads and a couple of words from our sponsors as we get the statistics ready. And we're going to be back with the entire showcase for this first map so that we can end things off and get ourselves into game number 2. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for the Intel Gamer Days Comedy Cup for Valorant for game number 1 of this best of 3 series between ZeroFrags and Team XØ IND have come to a close, and this first initial game just left a bitter taste in a lot of our mouths coming in from the side of Team XØ because they had so much to give in towards this game, but they just couldn't do it because and the lack of utility is very much apparent for their team. Alpha Warrior, he's been having a phenomenal performance, 17 to 15 on the scorecards. He's been doing quite a lot here, but that's kind of where the things just gets put to a hold. On the map of Sunset, where utility reigns supreme, you need to have yourself a breach to really play this map out properly, or maybe a Euro to give you those extra bit of flashes. Without those flash utilities, you just cannot do much. And doesn't matter if your team are all mechanical superstars, you're gonna fall flat on your face as soon as the breach stun comes in and you get flashed out by it. Raj on the other side of the spectrum was a completely different story. 22 and 13 to his name. Raj was just an absolute demon on the server. The guy had 324 ACS with an average ADR of 190. He almost guaranteed a kill every single round. And because of that very impact, you can tell that the members of Team XØ, they were not really able to, be even in contention for a lot of these fights. And you can tell that these kind of engagements are very commonplace now, even when you're going into the forward following map, because with how the setups have been, how Team XØ are generally playing through a lot of their engagements, it's just not that simple anymore, where you can just pick a character like Reyna and be able to find a lot of value in almost every single one of your fights. But as map number 2 is still present and ready, I'm pretty sure Team XØ are going to be going for the exact same thing. Comfort is very much important for this roster, as you can already tell. And Team XØ, they're relying a lot on their mechanical skill to push them through a lot of these earlier fights. And in a way, yeah, the Reyna allows you to facilitate the mechanical skill to its fullest, but all of your other team members need to facilitate you as a character too. They need to give you the utility that you need to perform, and they've done so, but there's just not enough to really go in for it. We're going to be jumping over onto the agent selection screen, ladies and gentlemen, to see exactly how the map of Haven will be played out by them. This will be a little bit simpler. I'll be very honest on that the Reyna will find a lot more value here than it would do on Sunset, because Haven is not really a map that you need a lot of utility to play on. But if your opponents do have that proper synergy going for them, Haven will be a very difficult one and a difficult game for them to try and win out on. Because don't forget, this is the lower bracket run, ladies and gentlemen. So Team XØ, they're on their last legs. There's no more second chances after this one, because the map of Haven building up to be one that can bring in a lot of problems for this particular team. As for now, Haven, I'm just going to be leaning a little bit more towards ZeroFrag. Again, I'm a person that loves a double duelist composition, but you can't really rely on a double duelist composition where it's just your Reyna giving you that flash utility. Let's just say if it was a Euro coming in from Sangram instead, trying to set up that Reyna, then it would make a lot more sense. That's where you can build upon a lot more of those strategies. But from here on out, where do you want to go with this one? Where do you want to bring in that small change up in your overall strat play? Because you can't always rely upon your Reyna getting a lot of those frags. You can't always say that Alpha Warrior is going to be able to take a victory for me no matter what happens. Sangram needs to come together as well. They've gone in for a much more simplistic composition, just picking up a Jet instead of a possible Neon to break through a lot more of those defensive lines. The dashes, yeah, they're going to be able to come in and take value, but what's going to happen once Sangram dashes in, a breach stuns comes across the entry point, or maybe even a concussive blast being utilized to stop them from making that entry into the site to help out the Jet. The Jet's just going to be stuck inside the smokes, mostly getting spammed out and killed, and as soon as he gets killed, that's all the space that the Jet worked for just completely gone onto the wayside. They need proper utility usage to go in proper conjunction with one another, which is generally going to be the Reyna Flash coming in with the Sova Recon Bolt. Utilizing them both together will allow this team to really have that space that they need to just take those entries a lot more easier. And as we're going to be jumping on down over into a game, I'm pretty sure this is exactly what the members of Team And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. It seems as though we had a slight bit of technical difficulties coming in from our end, but everything's been fixed up, and we're going to be jumping on back in towards the game in just a bit here, ladies and gents, as we did leave off on Team EXO taking a 0-2 lead for their side. And I do believe that the third round also did start where Team EXO ran into the C side, so I have no idea where it's going to be going with this one. Is it a 0-3 scoreline, or did the members of ZeroFrag win out on their bye round? This is where we are left in the dark, but for the players, they're just gonna keep on rolling. That is for certain. But what I'm really excited for, Salty, has to be that one thing where now we've seen a completely different strat change coming in for the members of Team EXO. They're not going in for anything too extraordinary or anything too unorthodox. They went back to the ranked playstyle that they're known for, and it seems to be working out for them.
The rank playstyle only will work for sometimes, but I'm not sure if it's still working. Yes, it still is working, ladies and gentlemen. They did win that round 3-0. ZeroFrags yet to actually open things up. Not gotten off the mark as of yet. 3 or rather 5 players, all 5 players towards that mid region, 3 players towards the B window where they can actually make their way towards Garage. Surprisingly, it's actually no one marking there. The fault line does connect, but Sangram yet to venture onto site. Blitz quite in a position where he can actually get the spike. Not really. The Jet knew there would have been something fishy going on over there, though. Lovely way to actually dash back to safety, especially using the smoke. Blitz did not really get that time. We're still in a level grounds, ladies and gentlemen, inside this round, and 30-40 odd seconds have already gone by.
We'll have to see where they go with this. For now, though, slight bit of a reset here for the Baby J now. Looking to see if he can find a hit from their sidelines as Alpha Warrior looks for his own engagement as ZeroFrags in a little bit of a tough spot, unless they need to go in for a retake with the weakest of weapons to go in for this, and up against Alpha Warrior. When you have the weaker weapons, it's going to be always tough for you to try and break through these defensive lines. Already the Neon finding value. He's going to be able to find 2. Never mind. Maybe they're turning this one around here. Godspree in towards the back end of this. Does have the weapon to really play for. With the smoke now being given, but Godspree, he's going to be ready, up and waiting with the shorty inside of the smoke to take out the last player. A very good try coming in from the members of ZeroFrags, with Raj being able to find those 2 kills on that Neon. And now, with the pause immediately being taken, it's Derek's turn to give the team a good talk on what to do next.
What can they possibly do next is my question. I don't really get it. They can try and make their way in forcefully. Something which they were doing initially in the first map itself. ZeroFrags, they were extremely quick. Raj, I believe, is not that consistent on this map so far as of yet. Potentially because of the agent shift from Neon to Jet. But there are a lot of things which they can do. I mean, they can play the Breach and the Neon combination really well. Why isn't working out might be a question for sure. But they will have to push out on the angles where I believe they do not find the engagement. Go in for the wraparound. Go in for those, I don't know, what you call it, backstabs? Find a way to find the chink in the armor.
Gonna need to see where they go with this one. ZeroFrags already. Not really in a place where you want to really take these fights. As for now, have your optimisticity be your greatest asset. It's Raj. He's gonna be making a beeline for it on this seaside. Needs to try and take this hit soon though, because he needs to be careful of how much he's trying to get away with as he makes so. Now that they do understand that there's a possible adaptable play coming through from them, members of ZeroFrags instead are just playing purely off of information. They're not really going in for any form of map control, understanding that Team EXO, they might be playing slow in this particular round. The read is good coming out from them, but ZeroFrags, they don't really have as much information as they could have hoped for, and they need to opt for rotations pretty early as well. Baby J is going to be the first line here. He's just jiggling out for info as much as he possibly can, but maybe he's biting him a bit more than he can chew. Let's take a slight bit of damage with the rotations now coming in. The Omen up and ready to help out his buddy from inside of the side. Executes already coming in. And they are just going to be going for a 5v5 retake. They do have the Hunter's Fury and of course the Overdrive in the hands of the Neon to just allow this retake to be facilitated, but it's all dependent on whether or not that first kill is going to happen because of that Hunter's Fury.
They did not. Just delayed that spike to be planted for a few seconds. Yet to go in for an overdrive from the backside. It comes in. Everybody gets cleaned up. Vulture Zera, 3 kills. Needs to find more in a 1v1 right now. Team XØ IND looking to get their 5th clean by Vulture Zera. This man gets it all. And he's so chill about it.
No excited whatsoever for Vulture Zera here, but Sings, you have to give him the man the credit as well. He came alive when it was required from his team, and an ace to the name of ZeroFrags to open things up. And the doors for the first round did happen. But then again, ZeroFrags, they didn't really win it out as decisively as they could have hoped for, so their economy has taken a hit even though they have gotten that victory. Raj instead opting to go in for that Bucky once again, slide into the close proximity fights up against these players of Team XØ as they're trying to take these executes. No real rush seemingly is working out for them. And ZeroFrags as a team, they're not really coordinating what you would have expected, because generally you would want the breach fault line to come out first, then your recon bolt, and then the Hunter's Fury just catch out the planter. But instead, that wasn't really the case now, was it? Raj in the back, he's trying to opt for the jiggles here only because his teammates need to be the one who set him up for a fast rush. It's gonna be Blitz up and ready to immediately pull out that fault line and get a kill, but for now, Team XØ, they're just fishing out at least one player on this angle. And I love this off-angle position coming through from Hydra. They're not going to be expecting him. They don't really find the kill. And it's going to be now the first initial opener. It's going to be Alpha Warrior already jumping across, getting that kill onto Hydra. And now they are going to be full sending it in towards the side.
For sure, Godfrey. He gets the first. A lot of value as of yet been taken away. ZeroFrags just coming off freshly off that round victory. All of a sudden, Vulture Zera and his heroics might just be needed yet again. But where is this teammate? Yet to peak. Baby J comes in from the same angle, gets taken down. Team XØ IND 5-1. One round where Team ZeroFrags could rely on that individual brilliance this time as well. Did get the double kill from an angle which was not precedented, but they still managed to find a way to victory. What a strike. Team XØ IND possibly halting the hopes of victory of any comeback for ZeroFrags.exe.
What I'm really surprised about is the way that Reyna even went in for that swing. He jumped on his own orb there just to throw off the crosshair placement coming in from that Cypher. Poor old Hydra was not going to be expecting that one. Was been caught out in a really bad spot. But these are the kind of plays that you need sometimes to just throw your opposition through a loop. You can tell that when it comes down to the individual 1v1s, no one is better than Alpha Warrior, but that team play and synergy is slowly catching up for his entire squad. This seems to be similar to what happens to this squad in general. Their first maps are always a little bit shaky, but in game number 2, they turn into a completely different team.
Ingram finds splits, Navy Shea, Godfrey. He gets a couple of his own as well. Team XØ IND once again just shooting up the kills. ZeroFrags.exe, no chance so far. What a turnaround has been for Team XØ IND, and once again running that Reyna composition, something which we did not get to see last time. Be successful. Alpha Warrior was struggling. It was Sinks and Alpha Warrior who were holding the armor, but this time as well, Godspree has been so good. 11-2. This man kind of single-handedly destroying ZeroFrags and every single defensive fortress that they are trying to set up.
Where do they want to go with this? Another seaside take coming out from them. Full speed ahead, it seems, is the call coming in from this team. They need to be worried a little bit more about the spam here, but Vulture Zera, again, the hero of the story. He gets 3 frags just to his team. The guy is flicking on pretty much everyone and anything in front of his screens. The Rolling Thunder now utilized to give him even more space. Up for another possible ace here is going to be Vulture Zera, ladies and gentlemen. This guy's aim is just incredible to see. Now Savage Yoda and his buddy Godspree, they're going to be the ones to try and see how much space that they can play for. No real rotations coming out. I like this game plan coming in from Team XØ. They're waiting to see if any of the members of ZeroFrags, they get a little bit too complacent in their different positions, but Vulture Zera still in position. A little bit of a bad spot for him to take the clearance off. Goes for the first initial fight, but he does get cleared. Savage Yoda's going to be the thing that brings him back down to earth. Still a 3v2 situation for them to come into the retake for. But this one, Neural Theft, has given them all the info that they need. Rotations coming through, 2 from the back. And now the hit is quite imminent. No, they missed!
Right.
They missed!
So close, bro. It was so close, man. And wait a second, is Baby J playing on a TV? Yeah. And what is that headphone?
27-inch monitor. Yeah, 27-inch monitor.
Did you get a look at those headphones that he's wearing? I think it's one of those cat ear headphones. Look at that.
Ah, yes.
Look
Hey,
on his head.
he wants to look cool for
No.
the... Listen, he just wants to look cool for everyone on the camera.
My man. Boy, oh boy. What else are we going to witness today? Team XØ IND, all of a sudden, the run kind of just got halted because of a very weird round loss that nobody anticipated, but Savage Yoda. This man's looking down. His monitor is actually downstairs. Imagine him playing from the second floor and looking at the ground floor trying to spot his monitor. Well, Godspree finds Vulture Zera. A couple of quick kills, which actually gets ZeroFrags.exe a massive disadvantage to work with. The teamwork that I was talking about on the map of Sunset, all of a sudden it seems like it has diminished into thin air. It's non-existent right now. ZeroFrags.exe, no matter what they're trying, all of their players, it seems like they're getting isolated and caught in very off-guard positions, which they're not anticipating somehow. Might be their weakness in the defensive side of things, but if they don't really hold down that fortress, possibly get to like a 4 or 5 round cushion for themselves, I think it'll be very hard for them to actually mount that comeback on the second half. If they are looking to close things up 2-0, they will have to come back from their shackles, break through their shackles, and possibly bring out performance that they are known for.
Absolutely. Gonna need to see where they do get a turnaround at this point of the game. As for now, ZeroFrags been given that opener that they need. Pause taken once again by Derek here, as he's just gonna need to try and get his team back into that same foot mold, because ZeroFrags as a squad, they've just been making so many significant mistakes here throughout this entire game. That's a 2 timeouts already being taken, by the way, Salty, so they don't have any more left. I don't know what is happening, but ZeroFrags, they're just playing too slow. I don't understand it at one bit. Where's your A-long control? Where's your C-long rush? You have a breach and a neon. Why are you not trying to take space away from your opponents? Why are you trying to play reactive up against them? Just because they have a rank-based combination doesn't mean that they can't run you over. They have the aim to do it. Overconfidence is the thing that and bring down any team. And for this particular instance, ZeroFrags, they're the ones who have fallen prey to it.
But what I can see so far, it's very unlikely that Team XØ IND will slip up at any point in this game. Might actually take it to a 3-mapper, ladies and gentlemen. Fault line to stop that early aggression. Team XØ IND, they have been stopped for a while, but Alpha Warrior, he still will progress. Does find the entirety of the A corridor open. A lobby in control for Team XØ IND. Not really a piece of discomfort. I think the reach from Team ZeroFrags has not really been the best, to be honest. Their reactive plays, look at that, the speed of rotation is quite slow. But yes, they do understand the fact that there is a chance that due to the breach utility, Team XØ IND might fall back, and this information has been read quite comprehensively as well. Look at the Sova and Cypher position. Hydra and Baby J waiting for that B strike, but this is where Team XØ IND can one-up the opposition, going back to that A. Raj needs to spot, but no, Savage Yoda falls. Savage Yoda is the one who actually brings him down, and instantly, this should have been the go call for Team ZeroFrags, but don't wait. They actually wait for yet another kill, and all of a sudden, it's a landmine that just explodes. Just one player who survives. So much information been given away, could not react quick enough. And that results in Team XØ IND taking away 8 rounds. A reversal of what we witnessed on the map of Sunset, where ZeroFrags were actually 6-round lead. We're having a 6-round lead, rather.
Seems as though the team has just turned up the heat in this game too. Think about it, Salty. Alpha Warrior is not the one at the top of the scoreboard. It's actually Godspray. They are going full speed ahead for so many of these engagements, and as a team, if they're able to perform this well, then you can tell that they are arguably the much more better squad, especially for this particular map of Haven. No real fights have been taken a lot more earlier from their side either, and you can tell that ZeroFrags are not as comfortable on this map, and they've not yet been able to find a lot of those openings that you would expect to come in from the members of Team X. So raw mechanical skill can carry you so far. And it seems as though on the map of Haven, that mechanical skill alone is more than enough, with a couple of good basic fundamentals to really just push your team forward. I don't think I've seen Team XØ pull off any form of really big or unorthodox strategy. Generally, these are the strats that you use in a ranked setting, but it seems to be working. I don't know how, but hey, I'm here all for it.
I mean, I'm here all for it as well, bro. I mean, I just want to see ZeroFrags not disappoint the fans in the chat as well, because I am having a constant look at the chat, and there are a lot of supporters, especially not just for the players, but also for their coach as well. But, well, we'll still wait to find out when does the game restart again. The players have been facing a lot of issues these days. What's up with the weather, bro? What's up with the electricity and the internet? Like, is it problematic? Because I think yours as well. Oh, at your place, I think it's been raining as well, no?
Yeah, it has been raining for these last couple of days, but I think that because of the rain, one of my power boxes actually did die yesterday when we were doing that broadcast. So it caught fire. So because of that catching fire, apparently my internet line also caught fire. That's why I didn't have internet initially. Somehow I still had power, but the internet line died. I have no clue how this works. Like, my country in general is like an absolute fiesta of like a lot of weird things happening all together, which is why I may lose internet once again, Salty. I'm very sorry, but you might have to get your orangutan buddy for the next one. We never really know what to expect, because even when it's down onto the server, we're here in SA, right? In the region of South Asia, almost anything could happen. Your power can die, your internet could die, your monitor could get broken. A random rat could crawl into your computer as well. I've seen this happen in a tournament game once. I still remember, right? I was casting a game. the admin comes in. He tells me that a cockroach went into the computer and his computer overheated and his PC died. And I'm here like, are you kidding me or are you actually serious? He's like, I'm dead serious, dude. That actually happened.
Brother, experiences you have when you are in a third world country. Both you and I would agree. But at least ever since I've moved out to Mumbai, I think my situation is sorted a little bit, especially in the boot camp. But whatever be the case, man, like I just hope the players do not struggle because of this, especially when it affects your mindset. You do not want your mindset to move away because, see, when you're competing, you do not want to be battling all of these things. You get it? I think it's very important to have a clear head, to have a competitive mindset, and that is exactly what's missing from Team ZeroFrags, at least. I'm not sure when that will get sorted out, but I just hope for the best. I mean, imagine this, right? You guys have power issues. I have audio issues where my microphone has problems. All of us are battling our issues, but then we are still just commentating on the game. They are actually commentating and that they're actually competing. So that's much more difficult, and I just hope that all of these things do get sorted out before we can actually continue and progress with the game any further, you know.
Hopefully, we're going to be able to jump on back in soon. But another recap, ladies and gentlemen, if you have been just tuning in for this one, that the members of ZeroFrags are, of course, having a pretty rough time for this second game. They're being rushed upon a little bit too much by the members of Team XØ, and they've yet to really figure out on what they can do next to try and break through a lot of these defensive lines. But like, I digress. We'll give them a little bit more of a chance to really settle themselves in and really figure things out. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you guys are going to be checking down on the links for in the description, because there's a lot of deals on Flipkart if you want to grab yourself an Intel Core powered gaming laptop starting at just 52,990 INR. And the offer still will be lasting up till the 7th of September. And of course, you can get no cost EMIs on select models with select bank cards as well. So again, make sure to check out on all of that. But for now, we are going to be checking on the players to see whether or not they're okay and if they need more time. As we head on down over into a very short little break, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with a lot more Valorant action. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with the Intel Gamer Days Valorant Community Cup. As one of the players did have a little bit of an issue, but he's now back in towards the server, and we're going to be jumping in as well to see whether or not the members of Team XØ can take this map away for themselves, and we head on down over onto map number 3, or will it be ZeroFrags being able to pound A very good comeback for their team. Already spotted. Raj needs to try and make a run for it in an awkward angle. He immediately gets shot out. Good damage being dealt though at the end of the day as they still try to take this fight as their members just keep on falling like dominoes. ZeroFrags, they wanted to go in for an aggressive play, but the player that was supposed to save Raj there to try and break that owl drone just was not really able to do so.
Yeah. Savage Yoda moving closer towards Baby J. Knows exactly that there will be a player who will pop in, playing the patient game so far. Meanwhile, Smoke's being dissipated towards the garage.
He fell asleep!
But yeah, he was caught napping. Baby J though will find the first kills, and Ram gets the bearer, but then instantly gets traded. And that is what happens, right? You can potentially trade a couple of these players, but then after that, you just can't really hold on to the position. Vulture Zera wishes onto the Vandal this time though. Will teleport away to safety, but Sings and Godspree have, I believe, isolated the fight. Vulture Zera needs to know where exactly that player is going to come from. Sings sprays him down. Team XØ IND 9 rounds to 2.
Pretty much have gotten a perfect read on everything. Team XØ, none the wiser for it. As for now, it's all about the stability that they're able to find. Because overall, you can tell that Team XØ as a team have just really found that perfect formula to take a lot of these wins for themselves. With the worst buys already coming through, ZeroFrags, these mistakes are just compounding one after the next. Fast on the entry here once again. Vulture Zera is just not going to be able to do much. Hydra does get the kill at the bare minimum, but immediately gets run on by Alpha Warrior, just bum rushing their way in towards the server. 3v4 now for this retake, and the utility not looking to be as clean as you would have expected from their team. Savage Yoda with the double immediately coming in from the garage side. No one was holding garage? Wait a minute. None of the players from the side of ZeroFrags were holding garage. What the hell are you doing?
Let the Terracora flow. 2-10 the first half. Wow. Seems like the internet coming back is not really helping them as well. Team XØ IND 10 rounds ahead. 10 rounds inside of the game, 8 rounds ahead. Bro, finish this quick, man. I've got to go to the gym, man.
Same.
Wait, you're working out?
I told you I've been going to the gym for the last 2 months.
Oh. I mean, it's sad that you have to tell. I don't have to tell it to anyone.
Nice way of telling me that I'm fat, bro. Good job. But for the side of Team XØ, they're going to be able to get a couple of fat shots coming in from their side as the headshots reign supreme from their end, but it's just not going to be enough as ZeroFrags are maybe possibly mounting a comeback here on this cat side. Wait a moment, this first round could be going in their favor depending on how these two players are really taking that engagement from their side. Godspeed's going to be good for one, but immediately gets traded out in from the back. ZeroFrags, they get the third on the board as Team XØ, they got a good opener at the start. They had pretty good control, but that one classic really did put a damper on their plans.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, ZeroFrags, will they mount the comeback? We will see. Mid push from Godspree towards onto the advanced enemy territories, but then there is a tripwire already which will kind of justify what exactly they are doing. Sinks will fall back, give away the site, not really the best positions to be in, but they know already that there is a massive army of backtrackers who are still coming back. It will involve Godspree, it will involve Alpha Warrior as well. But what is Alpha Warrior waiting for? Savage Yoda could not really succeed with the Sheriff. I believe it's all down to Alpha Warrior, to be honest. Needs to hit those nutty shots through the smoke. It's not gonna be easy. Vulture Zera.
Oh my god, Vulture Zera!
All three of them with the Vandal.
This guy has such good aim, Salty. It doesn't make any sense, the fact that he's just able to do stuff like this. Like, look at this guy. That moment of brilliance, just be like, hey, the radar's jumping, I'm not going to be killing him. He's not really an active threat anymore. The jet coming in from the right is the one that I need to go in for the frag on. It's stuff like this, that moment-to-moment decision-making, that sets him apart from almost everyone on his team. And yeah, you have players like Raj, who is also a superstar, but on that level, you can tell that Vulture Zera is just in a league of his own. Utility already utilized Savage Yoda in towards the back of side. Needs to worry a little bit about what's waiting on the opposite end of this. He's looking for more. Godspree's position now revealed inside of the smoke in the back end of side as well. Trying to go in for a runaround play. And Hydra's position now fully revealed. They know the exact spot of the players. It's all about the initial timing. They do have a weapon that they are playing for, so that's big for them. But in a 4v4, it's not going to be that simple. They know this hit is coming in towards the side. They know for a fact that the player could be anywhere close to Garage now. And this is what was missing in that last round coming in from the members of Team ZeroFrags. They're opting for the hit. Everyone's rushing in towards the side. Blitz's position now revealed. The recon ball just reigning supreme. It's pinging out every single one of these players, and no one broke the recon. What the hell just happened? Why did no one break the recon? Hello, ZeroFrags, what are you doing?
What are they doing, man? 11-4. They had such a lovely advantage, but then the buy round kind of shifted things up. It is going to be a little difficult for them, since they did have to lose up on a couple of weapons. So Savage Yoda will probably have to do away with some lighter gun. I don't think he minds. He's been amazing with that Guardian. I think he can pick up the Guardian once again. But ladies and gentlemen, another break before we actually move in. This game has been slow, man.
Yeah. So many tactical
so in cricket,
all at once.
so in cricket, something is called the over rate. So what basically happens is that if you have to finish a certain number of overs in a given amount of time, for example, if it's 1 hour, you have to finish 13 overs in 1 hour so that you're on time, right? And if you fail to actually complete 13 overs on time, then you will actually be fined from your match fees. Apparently, the bowling team's captain is actually fined from his match fees, and it's considerable, to be honest. It's somewhere like 50%. So every team ensures to at least complete 14 overs per hour instead of 13 overs, so that they're ahead, so that they get that leeway in the next hour, so that they can slow things up, and they can slow things up whenever they want to. This has to be incorporated in Valorant. This needs to be incorporated in Valorant.
Oh god, this is just a problem, ladies and gentlemen. Like, there is no way that this is gonna work out, because I think that we've been sitting here for almost an hour and 30 minutes. It has been since the very start of this game, right?
Yeah.
And honestly speaking,
it's been 2 hours.
Yeah, it's been a while since this game has already started, and the players are having all of the technical difficulties here. There's nothing really that we can do about it. And game number 3 is, and there's nothing that we can do. Like, the player just needs to show up here, because we've given them so much time. I get it, he's having internet issues, he's having some trouble to really play on the server, but like, even as in the tournament setting, like, we can't give you that much leeway. Like, leniency is one thing, but in a tournament, if you're not gonna have a stable connection, at least have a backup present as well, or be ready to move to a.
I like when aggressive starts giving tuition teacher vibes, guys. I love it. I love it when this man suddenly turns into a carrot.
God.
I love it when this man suddenly be like, you know what, we can't allow this anymore, and now we are.
Hey,
He's
listen,
having
I'm kind of done with
issues.
this one as well. Like,
He's not in
I'm
the
kind of done with this
washroom,
one.
bro.
From what I heard, is apparently he's having internet issues. So I have
Yeah.
no clue, right? There's nothing really that we can do about it. But for now, hopefully the players are going to be able to come on in from their side. But these kind of things are momentum breakers, yeah?
Imagine this, right? Somebody from the winning team had to go on a date, his first date with his girlfriend after this match, right? And a player from the losing team has been having internet issues. I mean, he wants to finish the match. He's a top fragger of his team. He's like, I'm gonna get 30 kills. I'm gonna finish this match in 10 minutes, and I'm gonna bounce because my girl is waiting. And the other guy's like, wait a second, I need to fix my internet. Like, what, brother?
Hey, the game is more important than the girl, you have to remember, especially when 3 lakh INR is on the line, ladies and gentlemen. You know for a fact that that is going to be quite the crucial part. Hey, if you get that 3 lakh INR in your favor, then you're going to be able to get your girl all the gifts that she wants, right? But for now, if you want to get your significant other gifts or even your friends' gifts, make sure to check out all the links down below in the description from the side of Flipkart, ladies and gentlemen, because Intel Power Gaming laptops are going to be at a significant discount. And Salty is absolutely done with me, but we're not going to be done with the game here, ladies and gentlemen, because we need to be going to a very short little break to set everything up, and hopefully the players get back into the server. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with a lot more action. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for the Intel Gamer Days Valorant Community Cup. As for now, we're going to be jumping on down into the game in more ways than one, because finally, I do believe that the players are now back and all of them together are going to be able to finally finish everything off, hoping that there is no more issues coming in from the members of Team XØ. Because from what I did hear, it was, sorry, not Team XØ, I mean, ZeroFrags, because it's actually Baby J who is stuck in towards the back of the server. So ZeroFrags, I don't really know how they're going to be able to play this one without their Sova, because it is a 45 situation series. And we've shown them a lot of leniency, we've gave them a lot of time, but there's nothing really that we can do. And it's going to be game number 3 for us here on the server, ladies and gentlemen, as 4 to 12 pretty much will be imminent, as seemingly no, never mind, maybe. There's a good chance they're going to be able to turn this one back. So Grom's going to be able to shut down Raj almost instantaneously. This is a 3v3 now, with the Sova not being in the server. They just went in for a full-scale rush on the A side, and somehow they just got all of the kills. They're making sure that they're not going to be giving this one up anytime soon. And as soon as this tripwire falls, 2 players are going to swing across and went for that instant kill. First one already taken out, and after the other, they're just going to be running it down here from their side. Vulture, Zara, beautiful when it comes down to the tabs. The aim on this man is absolutely sublime. Last one's position is already known and dusted. 2v1 now on that scenario. Savage Yoda doesn't really have much of a chance to do anything here. He's stuck. Now, sent down to the grave. 5 to 11. As Team XØ, they would have had a chance for a comeback here, but unless the Sova gets back in, don't know where they're gonna go with this, but possibly to win even a 4v5. ZeroFrags, they do have the potential to do so, but it's gonna be a long climb and an arduous one where they constantly need to get that first initial opening kill. In a lot of ways, it's a good thing that the Sova is AFK when you think about it, because now he's just like a straight up tripwire just waiting on the opposite side of spawn so no one can flank them. It's gonna be Raj again with the opening kill. Their full-scale speed rushing it down, trying to go in for more. Now utilizing the neural theft to gain even more info on where the players are going to be going in next. They do have the 4v4 going in for them, so not really the worst of spots that you want to be in, as Raj in a little bit more of a precarious situation of his own. The weapons not really working wonders for them here. Raj's position could be revealed soon as the smokes do come in, and Raj, oh my god, he just keeps it rolling. He wants to go in for the ace, but he's not going to be able to do so. Good call. Where is this player on the defensive side? Because now that he's on the attack, he's turned into a different beast entirely. Six to 11 on a 4v5. They're doing it all, ladies and gentlemen. They're just gonna keep on going towards the east side, it seems. ZeroFrags. They're not a team that's willing to give up under any circumstance. And Raj, he's gonna be the player that you look to try and bring things back for their team. Are they gonna be going for a hit here is the real question, because with all of the players already jumping into the side, they're just going to keep on going. Wait a minute. This hit is going to be super dangerous for them to take. And already these players are falling like flies and dominoes on their sides. One after the other, they do take a back seat. And with the last player just sitting inside a spawn, Team XØ, they're looking to get that 12th onto the board for themselves, as the exact same game plan just happened in once again as Sangram went in for a couple of style points to kill the last AFK. 6 to 12 now as ZeroFrags. They could have opted to go in for a rotation, but they didn't really believe that they were going to be able to take this victory for themselves. As for now,
Wow.
stability is key.
Dude, we are one round away from actually seeing the third map. This is interesting stuff, man. Another pause.
Oh no. The imagine if, right? We get that false sense of security, ladies and gentlemen, and suddenly we see Baby J just get himself back onto the server. Then we go into overtime, and after overtime, you see the members of ZeroFrags lose. We would lose our minds, and then it
Yeah,
would be in 1 hour 30-minute game. It's
yeah,
just the insanity of this situation. As Saldi, I don't know what to expect in this particular game. There's so many different instances where a team can really cause some problems on their side where it just doesn't really feel like they've been given a fair opportunity. But then again, a lot of these 4v5 rounds that they have been playing previously, they did wonders on it. They were able to take out their opposition in the ways that you would have expected. And one of the bigger problems that now this 4v5 has for their team is pretty much what's going to happen when they run into a Cypher setup, because there is no one on their squad that can break these Cypher tripwires other than that Sova. That Sova is not even in the server.
yeah. I just want this game to end, man. It's been a long affair. Yeah, true that. I mean, what do they say? I'm just waiting for the player to actually come by.
Yeah, now jumping on back in towards the game here once again, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna have to see where they're gonna go with this one. But for now, this game has already turned into a little bit of a one-sided affair where the opposite team are now trying to get back in here. But the way that ZeroFrags generally do like to play, already you can tell they still have been given much of a chance here, as the players have yet to get themselves back in towards the match. Baby J, he's not here yet, but what is here is a Cypher just sitting inside of the site. It's still a 4v4 situation, so there's a pretty good chance that they can still try to win out on this round in particular. Members of Team XO, they don't really need to play aggressive. They can just play on those defensive lines because they understand that the Cypher tripwires will not get easily broken. Go in for those kill trip setups and just allow your opponents to fester in the positions that they are in. Alpha Warrior now, first in line, looking for a kill. He misses out on the shot, and Hydra instead is going to be the one to get it. There is no world where this is going to happen for them. Never mind, Savage
I
Yoda
wonder how
instantly
many.
takes out Vulture Zero. Savage Yoda is going to be able to find the second, and they're turning this one around.
It's not even about turning it around. I think few players have already left the game altogether.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. That's sad.
What is
Honestly.
happening? Just use the Hunter's Fusion, just kill him in style.
They've actually used all the utility that they had. If I was alive at this point, I would have actually thrown in every set of utility at him before actually finishing off his life. But then, sure, good victory for who? Who was that who actually
One of
won?
the members of Team XO.
Exo.
The man is so done with this game that he forgot which team he picked won. I love it. Map number 3 is going to be Suit coming in. I guess, ladies and gentlemen, if the player is able to get to the cafe, I have no clue what's going to be happening next. But hey, we're here for the long haul. It's been 1 hour 30 minutes almost since this game has started. So Hakuna Matata it is. First initial match of Sunset that did happen was a one-sided affair going in the favor of Team ZeroFrags, but game number 2, it was just a completely different story where you could tell that the members of Team EXO just had that entire map under wraps.
I just wish one of the teams just forfeit this game, honestly.
Salty just loves to be the bad cop in almost every single situation.
I
He's
don't
just so
I
done
don't
with
mind being
life.
the bad. I don't mind being the bad cop, bro. I mean, if you can't play at your full potential, why even worth trying? I mean, it doesn't really make sense, right? And see, time is of the essence. While some of the players who are still battling, the ones who are actually not having internet connections, you have to respect them. You have to respect everyone else, the production as well. If you're not at your best, if things are not working out, then it's fine. It's probably not your day.
Absolutely. They're gonna have some problems with that one, but we do get the statistics ready because I do believe that getting the stats for this will be quite difficult because of one of the players disconnecting out. But we're gonna see what we can do from our end, ladies and gentlemen. But as we are going to be talking about the game, there's not really much to really bring up here other than the fact that, hey, they lost out on one of their players of the rounds that they were supposed to win. And Baby J probably was having connection issues for the entire matchup as well, because you could tell that he was not playing to his fullest potential. He was not really playing with his team in a lot of these fights. And I do think, right, that one round where I was talking about, hey, who the hell is supposed to break that recon? Baby J was alive. I'm pretty sure that his internet died, and that's one of the main reasons why he didn't break the recon. He was probably staring up into the sky at the recon, and he just didn't get that.
Possibly.
It's just an unfortunate situation where I don't know how they're going to be able to turn it all around.
I think the last map, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be the map of Bind. I hope that we do get to see that map pretty well. Still waiting for the data and everything else that's about to come by, ladies and gentlemen, for you guys. But as of yet, Aggressive, what's up with life, man? The podcast hours are back. Let's do a podcast. Chat. What is the topic that is in your minds? Let's have a conversation, because I feel like this is the time where we can actually talk. See, I'm not streaming, right? I am not streaming on my channel because of this event, because it kind of lasts like 6 to 7 hours a day. 6 to 7 hours a day. Why not just have a virtual stream here itself, where I just talk to my audience and route my audience to this stream itself and have a conversation that, hey fellas, what's up? What are you guys doing? And what I do is just chat. So yeah.
I mean, we could have a conversation here, Salty, but I think both you and me are extremely tired from that initial game here. But we have to keep our energies up just a little bit. Like, there's nothing that we can really talk about as well about the game, right? Some people in the audience are going to be saying, like, hey, why are we not talking about the game in particular? But there's nothing really much to say. First game was a stomp. Second game was just connection issue after connection issue.
Let's talk about Aryan. Let's talk about Aryan.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
My favorite bad cop.
What's up,
my favorite bad cop is here.
Let's talk about you, man. How's life treating you? Are you single? Are you looking out for anyone? If you're going on a date, you can always ask for advice, because I think Aggressive is always very good at that. Man has a girlfriend as well, so you can always ask him about any tips and tricks if you want. Already, as soon as you talk about the girlfriend, the hair stands up, the eyebrows kind of shrink, and Aggressive is like in his Riz mode, guys, fellas. Yeah, this is time for me to step up. Oh, yeah, boy, the specs are off. The tuition teacher's specs are off.
Hey, listen, I'm actually legally blind without these specs, so I don't have anything to do about it.
Somebody in the chat just wrote L cafe without even knowing what cafe is.
I mean, that's kind of what the reality of the situation is, ladies and gentlemen. But we're jumping on down over into the scoreboards here, as we now have everything given to us. 6-13. You can already see that the statistics are heavily in the favor of Team XØ, but one player out from ZeroFrags' side really did turn things around. Vulture Zera just had a phenomenal performance, and honestly speaking, ZeroFrags, having a player like this on your team is a saving grace for them. But everyone else just could not really shape up to his level.
Yeah. I mean, look at that. Godspeed 21-8. Insane stuff, man. Again, single digit deaths is something which I always talk good about. The only reason why I do not really have any interest in the statistics of this game is because of the fact that it wasn't a fair fight. It was extremely long. It was like not a match that I would love to see at a competitive stage, but hoping that the third map which comes around, ladies and gentlemen, will be a little more competitive as we come back after a very short break. I know there's been like a lot of breaks, but we can't really do anything about it. Hoping that these players fix their stuff and we get to see a good game. Till then, stay tuned and we come back after a short one.
not a game, it's a rich thing.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Intel Gamer Days Community Hub for Valorant. This quarterfinal stage is continuing, and as you can see, my boy Salty, he's hanging his orangutan in the corner as we're going to be jumping into the game, and then he's going to be joining me. As you can tell, that it's been a long day. We've been up since the morning hours, bringing you all of this action, and the game is just keep on continuing. That first initial BO3 did almost go the distance with the third map that could have possibly come around when Asterix was starting to lose out, but then again, doesn't really seem to be the case here, where one of the teams had a lot of technical difficulties with Baby J not being able to make it in towards the server. But now that he's back in the cafe, you can tell that ZeroFrags could possibly be the ones to take this map of Corrode away for themselves. As I'm pleasantly surprised that this map kind of made it through selection, because generally most teams don't want to play on this map because of how iffy it can be for those overall setups. No Viper getting picked up here, which is a bit of a surprise, because Corrode without that Viper does make it difficult to go in for those mid-side pushes. Vulture Zera is going to be the one who steps onto the plate, picking up the Reyna to go up against Alpha Warrior. Now, this is going to be a battle for the ages, as both Reynas now on this server will try and better each other in almost every single turn. I'm all here for it, because it's situations like this that can really bring a team down onto their knees, or even allow a squad to really find that foothold that they would require to take these victories up against their opposition. For now, though, that's the set play and the setup that we do have for you guys back at home, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully, the players are going to be able to get up to those marks as well, with the set plays for the members of ZeroFrags are a little bit more simple, but a vice possibly coming out from Team EXO. Now, this is a big change generally from what we have seen from them in the past, where I do believe that Alpha Warrior is going to allow Sungram to have a bit more of an urgency for his overall setup too, because now that Sangram's opting to go in for that neon instead, you can tell that they want to go in for a lot more of those faster paced approach. Plus, with the neon wall, you just have that extra little bit of leeway and that extra smoke that you generally wouldn't have otherwise to allow you to have those easier times entering or even playing slow in some of these fights. Corrode as a map is a really good map, I would say, with some small problems here and there. And as more players will start to figure out how this map really works out and the ins and out of what it generally plays like, I'm pretty sure that everyone will start to fall in love with this, similar to what they have done for the map of Lotus. Lotus became a very common map for almost everyone to play for after those recent after the rework that they did to the A side and also the C side, because players started to figure out that, hey, it's not that impossible to play this map when you're on the defense anymore compared to what it was before if you do know the basic fundamentals of the game. And Kuro tests you on that fundamental level and also on that strategic level on your agent selection and your creativity, because not every part of the map can be taken over for free just by having a single controller. Those double controller setups are good for you because Clove also gets pushed into the limelight. Generally, Clove is like that perfect pseudo duelist that you would have on your team if you want someone to play super aggressive, you want someone to play for active amounts of information. If the Clove has it has her ultimate, sorry, online, then you can generally guarantee yourself around just because you have that free entry now and you don't have to worry about any of her players dying. So she can be that first line to go through, and your duelist can come in right behind her, carrying all of the other different avenues that you generally would not be able to do so if you had something like a Euro or maybe an ISO going in first. I digress though, as the game will get started soon, ladies and gentlemen. Salty will be on my side. I'm looking forward to seeing whether or not Team EXO still have it in them after that last game that they did have. They put the pedal to the metal, yes, but for the opposite side, Zero Frags, it was a heartbreaking loss for them. Thankfully, they did win out on that first initial map, allowing them to have that extra one map leeway to really play for. But overall, that one leeway alone is just not going to be enough for them to really break through that confidence barrier that they could have generally faced. It's tough, but even then, being in a tough spot doesn't mean it's the end of the world for them. As Team EXO looking for the overall engagement that could be a little bit of a difference maker, as Raj already knee deep in enemy territory, just jumping around in the middle. He's able to go in deep, does find the first initial player already. The relay bolt does give some bit of a timing for them, but it seems as though Team EXO, they've yet to really give up a lot of their players. The Zero Frags knee deep in enemy territory once again. They have the entirety of the B side for themselves. Rotations are coming in for the spike to make its way over onto the opposite side. Smokes come through. Baby J coming in for the big save here with one kill. Could be coming in, but instead it's going to go to Zera, who does falls, and Grom gets another one onto Baby J as he was trying to make that rotation. And with the last couple of players already spotted, Hydra needs to be the big game changer for his squad. Jumps down from the top side of heaven, and he does get caught out for it. And it's going to be Team EXO who take this victory for themselves. And with the first round now going in their favor, they're just going to keep the balls rolling in their court. Alpha Warrior now stepping away from his keyboard for just a little bit to try and fix some stuff. It's Team EXO now. They're starting things off in a pretty good note. As you can tell, that Zero Frag, yeah, they did lose out on this round, but this Reyna pickup coming out from them, it's understandable, but you can see that with both sides having the exact same lineup, they're going in for a little bit more of a ranked approach, with only the main difference being the Vice coming in.
True that. Blitz this time will charge his team onto a very quick B take. Godfrey will be forced back. does have the Spectre, will find 2 successful frags. Vultures and Hydra are already down and out. Meanwhile, another player charges in. He gets 4th, and all 5 players of XØ IND in every single kill that they wanted. 2 rounds very comfortably. And seems like Team XØ IND, they're gonna switch things around and possibly send ZeroFrags down the hell of the low brackets.
Possibly so. Anything could happen here, ladies and gentlemen, especially when you are on this side. As Team XØ, through thick and thin, especially after what happened in that first initial game, you would have expected a completely different story. But ZeroFrags, they've yet to really find that edge that they need to really take down a behemoth of Team XØ here. We expected ZeroFrags to just take this game and this series out entirely, but for now, it's those pleasant surprises that no one was really ready for. So you can tell that it's a much more slower-ended approach on this B side too, as all of their members just are trying to see how much they can find for the sake of information. As ZeroFrags, they want that first kill to really give them something here. The Reyna Lear being utilized to try and scare off anyone that's close proximity for these fights. As Raj, he's expecting someone to peek out and try to take a duel, but it doesn't really seem to be the case. ZeroFrags, they're playing for the time, and with 50 seconds left on the clock, they're opting to go in for a B-side hit with everyone converging into one spot.
They certainly are. Vultures, Godspree, both these players almost about to face each other, as Godspree, the only man who is still trying to hold on to that B side, will evade to safety as he gets pushed by 5 players. The Cypher Cam is going to get too much space for the team as they comfortably plant, but that has been given away. Team XØ IND will be looking to mount that comeback on the back of Godspeed's position, and the paranoia which can be successful. 2 quick kills, but 2 instant trades as well.
They're just able to find the easy cleanup victories for them. Big rush coming in from the members of ZeroFrags, but even with the weaker weapons, they were not really afraid of that one now, were they? Instantaneous push and a big frag out win coming in from their side to get the 3rd round on the board, as the map of Corrode is theirs for the taking. A very ranked specific map, I would say, as well, but also just allows for a lot of team synergy if you play it well enough. But you can tell that one paranoia being let rip down from that spawn side was just always such an issue. And at the end of the day, it just came down to the trades. The members of ZeroFrags just were not able to come together to find that trade game working out in their favor. Well, now Raj is taking a bit more of a different approach. Opted to go in for the shotgun instead, with the A side being the one that they want to fight in for this first initial engagement. The wall already picked up. One of the players stuck on an island here, and it's going to be Raj who slides in, gets the free kill. The paranoia gives them a significant advantage for that fight, as Raj is looking for more. He's going to be able to take out another, and one by one they do fall as Team XØ. They still turn it around to the slightest of degrees. One player over towards the back. He's going to be expecting the duel, but up against Baby J, it will always be an issue. A ZeroFrags still in it to try and win it for this one. Is the buys? Yeah, it was there for them, but the man count no longer as present as you would have hoped for.
XØ IND once again losing out on their man advantage. 2v1 Godspree will flash himself. He's spotted, and he's finished off ZeroFrags to get their 1st round on board.
Doing all that they need to take this win for themselves on this 3-1 scoreline. You can tell that ZeroFrags are now in a little bit more of a better light to what was going on previously, but even then, that's simple to take a win just yet. There's more to be had in a game like this. Valorant, it's one of those games that will test you to its limits. It's Baby J, already with a fast rush of his own, Godspeed is going to be the first one to take that duel here. Already the defense starting off on the right foot. This team EXO keeps on looking for furthermore as Hydra in an angle, but he falls asleep on it. He's not going to be able to do much, and a flawless round comes through. Team EXO, that retake was sublime coming out from them with all their players just winning out on their gunfights. I don't think I saw a single member of ZeroFrags really fight back to them. I didn't hear any bullets coming out.
For sure, but now there's a timeout which has been actually called by ZeroFrags.exe. Derek wants to give his team a little bit of a pep talk. Should have actually given it in the map earlier as well. But at least for now, I think Team XØ IND, they're well set. I think if they keep on playing in the same way that they are, a comeback is for sure on the cards. Like a comeback in the sense of a best of 3.
Anything is possible here. And to be on a stage like this, you will be shaking in your boots a little bit, but for ZeroFrags, hopefully their players are going to be able to mount up a proper comeback here, because with how many of these rounds that they have lost, they've looked a little bit sloppy in a lot more of their engagements than you would have expected. And for now, Team EXO, the engagements are working well, but they can't get too complacent in positions that they already are in. To get this win, to get a victory here, will all really be dependent on whether or not you as a team are able to keep your cool and not underestimate your opposition. Because ZeroFrags, now that they have taken that pause, they are an unpredictable force that could go anywhere on any of these parts of the map. But Sangram's going to be the first one to take the fight. Good God. Vulture's era. He went from a controller over to a duelist, but the poor guy is not really able to do much on this Reyna whatsoever. They're just falling like dominoes, and every fight that they take, the members of Team EXO, they're just one step ahead of them.
Alpha Warrior and Raj still looking for their picks of their own. Alpha Warrior in a very good position. He knows he's just about to face a lad. Simply Shota finds that kill somehow. Blitz also in charge of this fight. I'm trying to look at switch against the corner. You have the flash. Go ahead. From the backline, the Cypher also protecting him, but Sangram finding him. And this is the right time for ZeroFrags to actually strike, but no, Team XØ IND, they win this fight.
A little bit of a rough spot here for them, but that's completely fine. Not the end of the world, I would say, for ZeroFrags in this instance, but their economy, not really in the best of shapes either. They do have one more bye to play for, while the members of Team EXO, with the amount of consecutive rounds that they have won, in a very decisive fashion, mind you, they've really built up their economy to the point where it's not going to get broken out that easily. They need to win 3 rounds consecutively to have any issues with their overall ego. Even then, the loss streak bonus will start to kick in by that point, and they can stabilize further. For now, wall traps already being triggered, but Alpha Warrior catches out the only smoker for the team. So this has just gone from bad to worse, and because there was a big gap in the smoke on that left side, it just allowed Alpha Warrior to find that initial opening. So Grom's going to be able to shut down another. Baby J immediately being broken in. And now ZeroFrags, they're left scrambling to pick up these fallen pieces.
Hydra. 2 quick kills down towards Cost Vulture's era is also in position as well. Things with the reveal. The stuns are there. Raj is going to find things, and that results in one more affair of a 3v2. This is going to be easy for Team ZeroFrags to actually defend. I think I see this round going in their favor, especially with the Neon and the Reyna still being alive. Hydra being out there can actually give them so much information, prior information as well. Premature to actually call it because Alpha Warrior is still alive, and we've seen this lad completely transform games, but the angles that these lads are holding is way too devastating. ZeroFrags get another round for themselves.
ZeroFrags are really getting themselves back in towards this match, and it's kind of based upon these things, right? Like, look at the way that Zagram just opted to go in for a swing here. This was for no apparent reason. They could have just given up on this angle because they had the man advantage, played a lot more safer, and just won out on these rounds, but that overconfidence kicking in a little bit too often here as ZeroFrags. They've been given an olive branch to hold on to here. It's now perfectly utilized utility. You gotta love that Cease coming through, catching out both of those players, but absolutely nothing to really be a kill threat on that angle just yet. So Grom's gonna be able to find that double, go in for the set play and the setup. Paranoia now utilized to catch out Hydra in a little bit of a tough spot. Once again, both of the same players on that opposite side, but look at Sings. He's expecting this engagement instantly. Went in for a runaway. He's not gonna be the one to take a risk like that. For now, they just need to wait. Really bolt utilize. It's going to be Alpha Warrior instead who comes in for the big save. Does have the flashes to give them a little bit of an edge. Hydra's the only one that has been active when it comes down to the kill department for the members of ZeroFrag. But Alpha Warrior now comes online to take a 6-2 scoreline. As Team XØ, they just keep on taking round after round. But ZeroFrags, they're showing some signs of life on some of them.
Spree still up there, 94 the scoreline. Sangram kind of leading the charge, 10 kills on this man. Team XØ IND, they're playing really well, and if they just continue this momentum, I think they're finally going to win. It's just this ultimate situation for ZeroFrags.exe that kind of gives them a couple of rounds here and there. But how long does that last is definitely my question. Sinks. Snicks. I think it's not Sink. I think it's Snicks. We've been pronouncing his name wrong the entire time. A lot of slides, a lot of sprays, possibly Snicks. They get Raj and Baby J. Team XØ IND, they get another round on one. It's actually pretty quick.
The round just begins and it's already over, and it seems as though I'm being taken back to what happened in game number 1, but in the opposite direction, ladies and gentlemen. ZeroFrags being served the cold hard truth, it seems, from that first map now going into this one. Team XØ, I don't know how they're doing it, but this team is just surprising me at each and every turn. The way that these hits are being done, the speed at which the utility is being invested as well in a couple of these rounds, you can tell that they've done this a lot more often than what you would expect. But with Sangram having such good aim, this is not the practice that's giving them on a scrim level. It's just individually, the players are incredible to watch. Now, with the spike in their hands, they just need to wait. It's going to be a long run for Raj to come on back on from spawn and then rendezvous with Vulture Zera to go in for this kill. Immediately, it's going to be another frag to come through. Vulture Zera's the last one alive and kicking. Looking for multi-frags here from their side, but Sinks. Or Sign. What did you say again, Salty? Sinex?
Nix.
Nix? Okay, Nix.
Yeah, it might be either Nix or Snicks. It's like Snickers.
Could be Snicks. Could be Snicks, yeah. Players do have those interesting names, but for Team XØ, Snakes is going to be the one who gets the round for them. Good round indeed for the side of the defenders, but now that the ultimates are online for ZeroFrags, what are they going to do to try and utilize it?
Look at that. As soon as the smoke dissipates, another one of their players fall. Alpha Warrior and Snakes tie up together. 2 kills for themselves as Raj gets Alpha Warrior. There you have it. Snakes going in again. Sangram from the back lines might actually find the Phantom. What? Additional stuff, but it still misses Raj versus Sangram, and Raj took it away. ZeroFrags not just giving up as of yet, do they?
Absolutely not. There's still more for them to really find in this particular game. As for Team XØ, these rounds just really boil down to whether or not they go in a little bit too fast for their own good. Once again, ZeroFrags, saving grace for them is just Team XØ going in a little bit too deep. And as soon as they do ZeroFrags, they're just ready to punish. Vulture Zara getting shut down here. Sangram's instantly going to be able to find that frag. The Phantom reigning supreme for them. Raj now sliding across. Does catch out Savage Yoda. This does open up the A side for them. At the bare minimum, already a player across the corner, but he misses the shot. This is going to hurt them quite a little bit here because the players have still yet to find the full-scale entry that they would have wanted. Cypher's hat does go off. That does mean that they have a little bit of a chance to try and stabilize as they have information of where the players could be. They're hunting down the last few as the rotations are going to be coming across, with Yeoman being the only one inside of the site. All three players are on different sides of the map, and this read coming in from them is going to be crucial. Could be another round win coming in for the members of ZeroFrag, but no, that's just not going to be the case. Instead, it's going to be Snicks who gets that kill over onto his own twin sister, looking for more. Blitz gets shut down as well. The last one remaining will be the Cypher coming in from the corner side. Hydra positions already revealed, and now they know exactly where he is. Caught down on an island, swings across, tries to go in for the kill, but Snakes is just way faster on the trigger. 9-3 on the scorecards, ladies and gentlemen, as Team XØ, the end of the first half on a 9-3.
Oh, Savage Yoda has one kill. Savage Yoda has one kill. My man.
Hey, listen, he's just being savage, that's it.
Yeah, but his team is still winning 6 rounds to 3. 9 rounds to 3. So I think his team doesn't really mind. The rest of the 4 players, they're really making up for it. Vulture Zera has been a man of difference from ZeroFrags.exe, but I think now even he's getting pounded.
See for that one. No matter where we turn, we can tell that Team XØ, they're the ones that in the advantageous scenario for themselves here. The ZeroFrags now looking to see how far they can go with this one. As first of all, you can tell that the hit's already coming across, as if they've already crossed out on from the sidelines. They're in towards A already. No one is playing on the A side. Wait a minute, what's the game plan here? With no one playing towards A, they're playing it for a full-scale retake. 1-for-1 trades still come through, but the spike's already planted and there's no one on A? Wait, no one's even playing from CT. Then what was the reasoning behind this? Maybe this?
Baby Hydra, 3 kills, baby another one. It seems like primary Valorant is what we are watching right now. Very primitive Valorant. Like, if a Valorant can be divided in standards, like for example, if tier 1 Valorant that we get to see, possibly let's say VCSA, if that is like class 12, what we're witnessing right now is possibly like the 2nd standard or the 3rd standard of Valorant.
Yikes. Oh god. Gotta love Salty when he turns into the savage mode. The guy is so done with life. And hey, for the members of Team XØ, that last particular round was a little bit dicey too, because they didn't really opt to go in for the best kind of post plans. They had the entirety of the free side for themselves, and no one really even extended. So Gram's going to be able to find an opener. Catches out Vulture Zera somehow with the shorty just running in for free. They do get a slight bit of a weapon upgrade that they can utilize with the last player already being spotted. It's going to be Blitz, who's possibly going to be on the receiving end of a lot of the hurt here. Godspeed does find one. The backup player that was coming in to try and save Blitz, as now it's all about going in for the rotations. They already have the man advantage, and they're opting to go in for the B-side. The B-side is absolutely empty. They can just wait. Savage Yoda comes in for the backstab. He gets another one. What is happening? ZeroFrags, where are you going? Where are you turning? Their team is just completely lost on this map, and it's very much apparent that they have never played this.
Yeah. 0 frags, 2 players still left to go. Seems like it is going to be a quick exit this one. Snakes does have the classic 0 frags with their stingers. Look at them completely lost. Godspeed. Wow.
No, not like this. Okay, that was too close.
Oh my god. Still wouldn't manage to actually get his weapon to the next round. Unfortunate.
Mind you, Savage Yoda was actually the match MVP for the last map. Now he's the one who's struggling the most. The duality of man at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. 10-6 on the scorecard here. As this map, not really his to be played on, but for his teammates, it's a completely different story. But for ZeroFrags, they are just not really able to find much value just yet. But Baby J, wait a moment, he does find the double kill. Raj is going to be able to shut down another. Styx gets brought back down to earth, but Savage Yoda almost immediately answers back towards the mid side. They do get the kills that they would need to try and turn this round back in their favor, but it's all about getting the proper timings now. Alpha Warrior needs to work his magic once again, get that first opening kill on that Reyna, work out the map properly, step by step, and then opt to go in for this hit. As for now, it's a calm before the storm as Team XØ, they're playing it slow.
They are Raj, Zero. Still alive. A little peekaboo over there with the slide in. Meanwhile, Savage Yoda looking to build up on his killing spree. My man is definitely hot in this map. Waiting for Raj to step into his crosshairs. He planting anywhere. ZeroFrags are doing a good job holding them through. It's about the time that they are playing in with. As soon as the plant goes in, everyone comes in together. Alpha Warrior strikes Vulture Zera. And now the spike will come through. Ready for the angle. Savage Yoda finds Hydra. Might find the next one. Almost missed the trick over there. Now, what are they waiting for? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, man?
Oh god, I love the fact that Salty is so done with life. Soon enough, I need to get myself my own orangutan that I can cast with. Because knowing Salty, he's gonna have a crash out soon, especially after rounds like this. I have no idea how this just worked. Baby J walking up from A main and just dropping 2 players out of absolutely nowhere. Stuff like this just does not happen. And Alpha Warrior as well just couldn't really bring himself to go in for that trade-off. It seems as though the momentary brilliance
in front of me. Alpha Warrior, the guy that I've been tracing for, he missed an entire clip. I don't know what was going on in his mind. He saw the trade coming through. He saw the man pop up from the same angle. Oh, God. I think I'm just being tested by God. My patience is just being tested right now. Alpha Warrior with the sheriff trying to be a little cheeky, but don't be cheeky. First, get yourself this. Now look at this. Blitz fires him back. Sunrum with the shotgun slides away to safety. It's a 1-on-1 trade. They are gonna find a weapon for themselves, but Hydra is watching it from up top. As soon as the smoke dissipates, I think he's gonna get a fine angle onto every single player. And he also has the Vandal to work with, which I think is going to work in his favor.
I'm gonna need to see where they're gonna go here. Already, the gonna be God spree with the opener. He's gonna need to look for more if he wants to try and go in for the skill. Vulture does turn this one around. Poor old players, they're not gonna be able to find the value in the way that they would have wanted. And somehow, in some way, shape, or form, the members of ZeroFrags trying to rush this entry a little bit too fast. Just get caught off by one. They get caught off one by one by the players of Team XØ. The positions that they were trying to play for in this particular round as well, you can tell that it was so lax. Every single one of their players, they just ran in all by themselves. For no apparent reason, Vulture just didn't really wait for his teammate to come in closer for that fight. And he opted to go in for the heal instead of taking a dismiss to clear out those close corners. These rounds are just all over the place.
Vulture, Ram, they all push up against each other with some Ram who actually gets the better out of them. Everyone comes in and Raj decides to actually cause them turmoil.
Not like this! Not like this!
The full team! And there you go. It's just Savage Yoda, the MVP, who is left alive, and the spike is in their control. Can this man turn it around? Both the angles being checked. Raj constantly jumping up and down.
Oh, that is so smart.
Savage Yoda, yeah, that was actually good. He heard the footsteps, timed himself really well.
Yo!
It's still alright, he still has 70 HP to actually work with. 1v1 right now. And look at the amount of time that they're going
That's
to
the
take.
flash, yeah. He's just gonna wait for the flash.
Playing,
He's expecting him
they're
to be
playing
on the post
BCD
angle.
champions. They're playing BCD champions. Champions 2025 to be decided by this 1v1. So much time being taken. Look at that. ZeroFrags, winners of champions, ladies and gentlemen.
When you get a round like this where Emperor Palpatine just comes in and just shreds everyone with a finger gun, you don't want to see some stuff like that. It all really came down to that last 1v1 situation where Hydra just had the better angle. The crossfire positions that they wanted to set up didn't really work out in the way that you would have expected, but for now, Team XØ, they're still at such a significant lead. 5-11. Sorry, 6-11 now going in their favor. They still do have to worry about Morrison Crom. Instantly answers back with his own calling. Shuts down Baby J as A side once again completely empty. They do have a free plant to play for, but these postman positions is where they're really struggling here.
Savage Yoda finds the first track. Team XØ IND. This time shouldn't really be fumbling this one. Blitz still surviving. Blitz not really showing signs of threat, to be honest. The clock's been sent out. Savage Yoda will find the kill. Team XØ IND 1 round away from victory.
They're doing it all pretty much almost simultaneously. On this 12-6 scoreline, you can tell that all of the players are pretty much done and dusted here on towards this server. It's the way that the set plays have been done too, coming out from their side. The members of Team XØ just have a better understanding of this map and the way that the rotations look like. While ZeroFrags, they're not really actively fighting for the power positions on this particular map. B-side doesn't really need a lot of players to hold on to it. You generally want to have more players on A and on mid so that you can go in for a bit more of a better pincer. But to leave the A side completely on the sake of a retake, this is going to be a tough call for them. For now though, Team XØ seemingly are making the wrong move by running into the awaiting arms of a possible Neon. No one's clearing the Neon. No one cleared him on the left. Wait a second. It's going to be a double kill. No, Raj, he fumbles the bag. He's not even able to get a single one. Team XØ possibly to take this victory. 12-6, down over to a 13, ladies and gentlemen. We could be crowning our champions for this series. If all but happens not here for them, they don't really have the weapons to do anything. Close range proximity fires are all that they're going to be able to bring onto the table. One by one, they do fall coming in from the top rope. That's going to be the first and also possibly the second. They're looking for it all, ladies and gentlemen. Knives in hand, possibly being utilized. Here it comes to end off in style. It will be Team XØ to take a flawless one at that, right at the very end, to take this victory. 30-6, ladies and gentlemen. As I'm pretty sure that my boy Salty is not going to be salty anymore.
No, man, I mean, I'm salty in general. That's the reason why I'm named Salty, but that's fine. It's completely understandable. But, well, that was a long game, man. That was a long game. Unnecessarily so. I still feel that both these two teams have a lot of work cut out. Team ZeroFrags, strong position where they were in the first map. You shouldn't have dragged this to the third map and lost it, number one. Number two, if Team XØ IND, you have certain ways to actually battle conditions, why don't you do that from the get-go itself? A lot of questions being asked, a lot of answers to be not had, but it's completely fine. I think it's part and parcel of the day and part and parcel of the job, so I guess we'll bear with it.
It's what it is. What it is. This is a game of Valorant. We always have to have that one game that will always go the distance and for all of the wrong reasons, right? If this was a very close game, I would understand, but you could tell that both sides just had so many significant mistakes. The players are not bad players. I have to reiterate this. None of the players on the side of ZeroFrags are bad, but they do have a lot of questionable plays from time to time that doesn't really make any sense. And you could tell that they just played a little bit too much on that individual factor where none of their players really understood how the map is generally played out. And Corrode being that new map, and it's quite understandable that you're not going to be able to play it to its fullest caliber. But I digress. First initial game, second one, and now now the third. You could tell that Team XØ just were that better team. A good start on map number one, because you could tell that the set plays that ZeroFrags had really was showcased to its fullest caliber. All of their players knew how to play that map, but in game number two, when they were tested to the core on whether or not they can adapt on the fly to a lot of the strategies that were being thrown towards them, they just couldn't. Adaptability is something that this team lacks to a deep degree, and unless you know how to adapt to what your opponents do, no matter how many different kinds of plays you have in your strat book, it doesn't matter, because one certain piece could just die at any second. What are you going to do when you don't have that one piece for yourself? Do you fall and crumble, or are you going to try and think of a variation of the exact same strategy that you can do in that exact moment? These are the type of things that a coach can't generally teach you. You need to know that as an IGL, as a player, that hey, I need to take control and I need to take this part of the map for myself, for my team to even have a fighting chance. And in these last couple of rounds, and not even the last couple of rounds, I would say in map number 2 and in map number 3, none of those factors of adaptability, even showed up from the side of Team ZeroFrags.
It's understandable. I think one of the reasons why they are out of the competition. Are they out of the competition, or are they going to the lower
Yes,
brackets?
they are. These are the lower brackets. No, this is the lower brackets, so they're out.
Well, goodbye. I still remember that chat. Somebody was actually praising their coach and the entire stuff. I mean, it's too early for that, ladies and gentlemen. But we move on to the scorecard and let's find out where exactly this thing stands, because I think this was more of a one-dimensional affair. Let's go and have a check at the numbers. Who does become the MVP? Who do you think? Who do you think is it going to be?
Pretty sure that it has to be Sangram here. Yeah, he just had a phenomenal performance on that Neon, just running around throughout the entire server, getting shot after shot, kill after kill. The guy was a force to be reckoned with on that Neon. 385 on the ACS department with an average damage per round of 232. He almost guaranteed 2 kills in a goddamn round. So that is insanity at its finest. To be on a Neon, to put on damage numbers like this is unheard of, with a 30% headshot percentage, close to that. So that's completely fine. But an MVP of the entire map series would honestly, in my opinion, be be Savage Yoda though, because yeah, of course, Savage Yoda didn't really have the best of performances when it came down to game number 3, but when you really needed him to perform in a couple of those rounds when the impact frags were of a requirement in that third game, you could tell that Savage Yoda really was a player that you could count on.
He certainly was. Sangram. Look at that MVP of the map. Team XØ IND doing really well. I'm very happy for the players who actually won. I mean, especially when you have performances like these, when you have long days like these, you understand the nuances of the game, you understand how it actually feels like competing. Because I think no matter how professional you get at every point at your career, you always have to have, with something like this, like something like gaming, you always have to have that backup option, going to a cafe and playing just if in case your internet, fluctuates. I think living in a boot camp for the last 3 years, in a professional boot camp for the last 3 years, I've known this, that nothing is for sure. Like, no matter how good the specs get, no matter how good the facilities get, there is always that 1% chance, and competing in a tournament just always means to be on your feet, to be thinking very quick on your feet, not just in terms of your brain as well. So I think the players had a fair share of experience this one. They will come back obviously stronger in the next tournament. I'm talking about ZeroFrags with their coach Derek. Let the Derek aura flow. But for Team XØ IND, I think this is a good experience for them. I think they got to fight a team who is just equally capable, and they beat them. This will give them a lot of confidence going further in this tournament.
Absolutely. That's exactly what we're hoping to see coming out from this one. And I'm a little bit sad for the members of Team ZeroFrags that they were not really the ones to take this victory either, because you can tell that the team has a lot of structure, especially after what we saw on map number 1, but they kind of did put all their eggs into one basket. They wanted to make Sunset their strongest map, and the fact that they did so was fine, but they didn't prep as well for the map of Haven. There are many different variables to a game of Valorant, and those variables will just grow to be more and more each and every passing day, with more agents being added in, with the balance changes being done as well, with the map selection being swapped out from time to time. You can tell that as a team, if you don't have that factor of adaptability, no matter how good you get, you're not gonna be able to go to that upper echelon if you don't play enough ranked, which is one big thing that a lot of players do forget about, that playing ranked is very crucial to improving in the game. And one of the teams that have proven this is actually going to be the ones in Americas right now, Team Envy. Some team that has just completely come out of nowhere. They're just full of rank 1 players. Like, think about it. That squad just has rank 1 players who are absolute demons in the ranked setting, are now farming the pro players by playing Clove instead of Omen on some of the maps, and it's just working for them. Right, it's stuff like this that doesn't make any goddamn sense, but if you want to improve, you need to improve in the way that, of course, it means for you to play. Ranked is honestly the best way to grow that adaptability factor, not just by scrimming, because on scrims, you have that structured gameplay in mind. But as a player, how to adapt and how to really learn from your opponents on what they're trying to do on a particular game just comes from you as an individual, not from the team as a whole. So hopefully the members of ZeroFrags, they go back to the drawing board and come back even stronger down the line. But for Team XØ, their tournament run just keeps on continuing.
Sure. While you're still waiting for the statistics, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's in front of us. Team XØ IND, 13 rounds to 6 for ZeroFrags. Sangram, 26, 13, 3 is a brilliant performance if you consider, but then the opponents were just not up to their caliber. The Neon face-up also did find a lot of success, 17 to 15 for Raj, but that's it. Look at the first kills, look at the disparity. I think this is one of the reasons why Team XØ won.
Just a slight bit questionable in a couple of these rounds too, as Sangram's just like all over the place. But that's kind of the thing. The fact that Sangram just had full control of the entire map is one of my main reasons why he has the 26 to his name. And while on the opposite side, Raj kind of did the same, but it was purely based upon the fact that hey, Team EXO just gave him a couple of those kills in those rounds, and unless Raj had that 4K or even 4K or even a 3K to his name on a couple of those rounds where they were just standing and waiting for him to run them down, it just doesn't often happen. But it seems as though the MVP of the match for this, of MVP of this entire series, though in this particular instance, will be none other than Raj, who showed consistent performances throughout all three of those maps on his side. And to get an ACS of 268 across those three maps is a very difficult one. And you can tell that Raj also guaranteed a kill in almost every single one of his rounds as an average throughout those three. Having a 161 ATR is a difficult feat, but for him, it's just another game of Valorant.
Yeah. But never mind, ladies and gentlemen, we did have a very long day and I'm tired as hell. I'm so tired, bro. But it was a good day, man. We did have fun. My friend Rangitan also had fun. Even he's sleeping, but he's like slept. It's like, not feeling like anymore. But I want to know from you, what are your thoughts of today's game? I think the first match was actually very interesting.
Yeah, the first initial game was fun, but at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, there's more fun to be had tomorrow because there's a lot more games then as well. So make sure to hit that like, hit the subscribe, and also hit that notification bell down below. Make sure to check out Flipkart if you want to get discounted deals on Intel Power Gaming laptops, ladies and gentlemen, starting at 50,990 INR. Links down below, and of course the pinned comment on the side. And make sure to check out the contest on Flipkart as well if you want to get your own dream setup for free. And if you're that lucky winner, you will get chosen. All the rules again in the description and also in the pinned comment. But for now, it's going to be your boy Aggressive with Salty signing on off for tonight, and we're going to be back with you tomorrow with a lot more action for the Intel Gamer Days Valorant Community Club. Good night and happy gaming, everyone.
Thank you.